welcome to Times XP. I'm Dhriti Atri. So recently, the Greater Vancouver Food Bank decided to stop providing food assistance to first-year international students, which has stirred up a lot of debate. This policy shift comes during a time when food prices are skyrocketing, jobs are harder to find, and food banks across Canada are seeing record high demand. Unfortunately, this change affects a large number of Indian students who are now finding it even harder to make ends meet in their first year abroad. Now, the reason of the food bank is totally different. Canada requires international students to show proof of funds, around $20,600 to be exact, when they apply for a study visa on top of the institution and travel costs. The Greater Vancouver Food Bank argues that this amount should cover students' living expenses for their first year in Canada. However, this financial threshold was just raised in January 2024, doubling from the previous $10,000 requirement that hadn't changed for 20 years. This new amount will now be adjusted yearly to keep up with the living costs. While the increase in required funds seems reasonable on paper, it hasn't caught up to the true cost of living in cities like Vancouver. Prices are at all-time high, specifically for essentials like rent and groceries. Meanwhile, according to Food Bank Canada, the number of food bank visits is soaring, with over 2 million people relying on them just this past March. That is the double of the number from 5 years ago. The CEO of Food Bank Canada highlighted how inflation and high housing costs have pushed food bank to their limits. With rising demand, the food bank can only do so much and resources are stretched thin. Now, on social media, particularly Reddit, people have been sharing their opinion on this particular issue. Some argue that Canada should raise the minimum requirement fund for international students even higher, to around $60,000, so that the students are better prepared to handle high cost of living in cities like Vancouver. Others pointed out that many young students arrived with high hopes only to face the harsh reality of high expenses and competitive job market. Specifically, if we talk about the Indian students who make up a big part of Canada's international student population, this restriction on food bank access means that they have to navigate an even tougher situation. Despite the promise of opportunities, they often find the cost of living far exceeds from their expectations. This has left many Indian families to rethink their plan, as some are now questioning whether Canada remains the ideal destination for higher studies or not. Now, in the end, it's very clear that as prices and demand rise, Canada faces a difficult choice, balancing welcoming international students with ensuring resources that can meet everybody's need, including those of the most vulnerable newcomers. For more such videos, do follow TimesXP.